everyone, welcome back. Today I'm doing a review on the Kat Von D Lock It Tattoo Foundation. I mentioned this in my November favorites. I've been loving it, so I wanted to go ahead and review it for those who maybe are thinking about trying it or want to learn more about it. So I'm going to share with you my personal experience on the foundation. So here is the packaging. I think it's really cute. It comes with a pump, which is really nice. I love that because then you don't get germs inside of it. And it's an air system, so as the pump, you keep pumping out the product, the little bottom of the foundation will keep moving up, so it doesn't have an actual tube that goes down through the foundation. But it feels pretty sturdy. It's a thick plastic, and overall I'm pleased with the packaging. So this is a full coverage matte foundation and it is oil free. So for those of you who have oily skin, this would be perfect. It's also formulated with 21% pigment and it's supposed to match a whole range of different skin tones. Also, there is 14 different colors in the line. So it comes with a pretty good amount of colors. Now, as far as the color range goes, I find that they run either really yellow or really pink. So there's not a good in-between. I've actually tried two of the shades. I've tried light 48 and medium 52. Today I'm wearing medium 52 and that is the one that seems to match me the best. But I can also wear light 48. It's just a little bit too pink for me, but I feel like if I mixed the two it would be perfect, but I'm going to be wearing medium 52 because it's a little bit more yellow. So for those of you who have no yellow undertones in your skin, be really careful when you're matching yourself for a color because some of them, they're really yellow and they're not going to work. So that's the only thing, is there's a lot of yellow in a lot of the colors, which is fine for some people because they have yellow undertones, but then if you don't, you could be out of luck if you're in a darker shade that's too yellow. Now this is completely, like I said, full coverage. It's supposed to be able to cover tattoos, and whenever you put this foundation on, it's like a brand new face. I mean, your face looks flawless. It covers up any blemishes, dark circles, anything that you have. And for my personal use, I don't need a full coverage foundation daily. I just like to use it whenever I'm breaking out to cover up any blemishes on my face. So I like to use it for that and for special events because this foundation has no SPF, so it's photography friendly. So I show in the tutorial where I apply the foundation that I have some blemishes right around my chin, and as you can see, they're covered and I didn't put any concealer over them, which saves me a step because I don't have to worry about trying to conceal them. I can just put on the foundation and you're good to go. Now the formula is very, very thick. I mean, you could put it in a little tester and try to tip it over, and I mean, it's not runny whatsoever. It's not liquidy. It's very thick. If you're familiar with the Revlon whipped foundation, the one in the jar, the formula is very similar. I just think that the Kat Von D is a little bit thicker. But when you apply on the face, it doesn't feel thick, it doesn't feel cakey, which is awesome because I was kind of scared when I first tried it out because I was like, oh, I'm not going to like this, it is so thick, but it doesn't feel thick on the face. It's just the formula is thick. When you apply it, I usually use a flat top kabuki brush. It works really, really nicely. Another thing I've done with the foundation is mix a little bit of my moisturizer in it if I want it a little bit more fluid. And this foundation also has no parabens, no fragrance, it's matte, so it's transfer resistant, and although it says it's fragrance free, I do smell a weird scent whenever I put it on my brush. It smells kind of like paint, but once you apply it, I don't smell anything anymore. I think it's just when you're putting it on. But it does stay matte on my face. I have normal to combo skin, so my T-zone tends to get really oily all times of the year. I don't tend to get oily with it on, and I don't really set it with a powder because it is so matte and so full coverage. So if you have really oily skin, you might have to set it with a little bit of powder, but I'm not sure because my skin isn't extremely oily this time of year, but I haven't had any problems with oil using the foundation. As far as the wearing capability, I think it does wear really nice. I've worn it for 10 hours and it still looked really great. However, I do have a few problems with this foundation. So the first thing is I think that you have to wear a primer with this foundation. I haven't worn a primer with it before, and around my mouth, like when I smile, like I have little lines where I smile, and I could see that the foundation was kind of breaking apart there and kind of in the middle of my forehead a little bit, and that's not attractive. I didn't like that at all, but once I used a primer, it was fine. So I think that without a primer, if you have wrinkles or anything like that or lines on your face, I think you definitely would need to use some kind of primer before applying the foundation, or it's gonna break apart and separate. Now also, another thing it does is it clings to dry patches. So I wouldn't recommend this foundation if you have dry skin because it's really going to cling to those dry patches because it is oil free, it's not hydrating whatsoever, and it's going to cling to that and really emphasize the dry patches on your face or the dryness of your entire face if you have really dry skin. But I would recommend this for people with oily skin or normal combo skin because it seems to work great for me. I have normal combo and I think it would be awesome for people with oily skin. Someone else I'd recommend this for is people with acne prone skin. Now, it might not help the condition of your acne, but it's sure gonna cover it up. This is not joking, it is the most full coverage foundation I've ever tried in my life, and it really just gives you brand new skin, because sometimes when you add a lot of product it can emphasize blemishes on your face, but I find that this really just covers it up. I mean, it's supposed to be able to cover up tattoos, so it's gonna cover up acne. So if you want that kind of brand new skin look, I would definitely recommend checking this out. I think it's great for covering up blemishes. It's good for covering up dark circles as well. I find that I don't wear a concealer when I use this foundation. I only use a little under eye brightener. And another thing I would recommend this for is special events. I think it's such a beautiful foundation to wear for special events. It makes your skin look flawless, just like Kat Von D's, and you look like you have that porcelain kind of perfect skin. As far as the price point, I think the price is pretty good. $34 is a lot of money, but compared to my favorite foundation, which is the NARS Sheer Glow and Makeup Forever HD, they're about $40 or $50, so they're really expensive. So for this to be $34, I think it's a great deal. You get 1 fluid ounce, which is the same as most standard department store foundations, and with this foundation you need barely any at all. I find that I need just a tiny little bit, and it's good for my whole face. You can see in the demo where I put the foundation on that I barely use any of it. I put a tiny second layer on parts of my face that I felt like I need more coverage, or if I had a blemish, but besides that I use 1 layer of the foundation and I'm good to go. And I find as I let the foundation set a little bit, it just really blends into my natural skin color, and I just love it. And while this isn't something I would use every day, it's definitely something I would use for a special occasion, or if I want to look extra flawless, or if I'm really breaking out. So if you have acne prone skin and you need something every day that's going to cover it up, I would recommend checking this foundation out. But if you just want something for special occasions, or you just really like matte full coverage foundations, I think that this would be perfect for you. So I hope this review was helpful. Let me know in the comment section down below what product you would like me to review next, and I will see you later.